Hi, welcome to the IndyRef series. I haven't done one of these videos for a while because I've been back in Slovenia, but I felt I need to say something because Prince Charles has COVID-19. And the first thing he did was jump on a helicopter or a plane and go up to Scotland, it looks like, because he's going to self-isolate in Scotland, bring his diseased body up to Scotland. Now, if you look at the stats between, sorry about my squeaky chair here, I just bought a new computer chair and it goes when I lean back. The stats between Scotland and England, I was saying they should close the border because it's a good way to assert the fact that you're a separate country, but given the fact that we need to be hurtling towards independence and not let this COVID-19 situation. I don't want to hear from people, oh, don't be so silly. Let's really got to focus on these things. You know, I can breathe at the same time that I blink. This whole thing that you can only concentrate on one thing at once. At the moment, most of the world is sitting at home doing nothing except for self-isolating. So don't tell me that people need to focus on one thing. If any time, this means it's the best time for Scottish people to mobilise. Since they're all sitting at home self-isolating, this is the time to mobilise and get independence done. Our country will never be better off under English rule. It will never be better off remotely run by the government that another country choose. So it needs to be done now. But in the meantime, what Nicola Sturgeon should do to prove that she's actually worthy of the position she's in, having allowed Alex Salmond to be dragged through the mud for the past couple of years, is to shut the border down. Because let's just check the rates quickly. From last night, the last time was, oh come on, 422 days. So England had 386. Scotland has 16. Wales has 17. Northern Ireland has 4. I think that's pretty strong grounds to cut the border in Wales and the border in Scotland, truth be told. I mean, you could do it around a city, because one guy was giving me stick yesterday about this, and it's like, as if you can't close the border. Well, you can, because there's a sign that says "Welcome to Scotland" and "Welcome to England" when you drive back the other way on the M6 and on the M1. So you could. Oh no, sorry, it's only M6, isn't it? The M6 and the A40 something, whatever the hell the other road is. But yeah, both of them have a border. So you could just put barriers up there and just put some soldiers on one of the Scottish battalions up there. Simple as that. It's easy as hell to do, because if there was some kind of contagion in one city, they would block off the city. It's the same idea, only on a country basis. Given the fact that we've got such fewer, let's see, 160 10 times. So that's so it's less than. It's 20 odd times less, something like 23 times less than England's cases. So it's a no-brainer. It should be shut, and that would also drum it into the minds of people that we are a separate sovereign country by the Arbroath Agreement. What's it called again? Oh look, it's snowing quite heavy outside. Let me show you that. Well, not really heavy, but it looks quite nice, isn't it? Anyway, the Declaration of Arbroath that states that we're a sovereign nation, it was handed to the Pope in 1320, a good 300 odd years before the Act of the Union happened, which never said it would take our sovereignty away. So that's why we should exercise that sovereignty. What's happened is Scotland, by way of habit and by way of being denied its parliament for many years, has fallen into this mental trap of believing that we need England's permission for things. And there are things that are not written down, there are things that are not law. We just take it back. We just say, well, this is not suiting us at the moment, we're doing this. We have a mandate of this country voting 80% SNP, and the previous time even more, 56 out of 59 seats. Isn't that hard? You just got to believe. You believe and then do. Then it is. You know? You don't ask for permission. And then if they throw up a stink, no, protect your border, right? That's it. With your own soldiers, because we have Scots battalions, yes, under the British military. Sorry, we have our own government. It needs to be loyal to that government, and we go to the UN about it. We go to the EU about it. That's how these things are done. Well, what do we say, says the EU. Well, what do the people who live there think? Well, I'll tell you what, you want to do a count of hands? Because I can guarantee most people in Scotland, especially now, are independent thinking, independent minded. So, the only way that they can win the election ever, in the past ever, well, one was because they denied the result in 1979, and the other time is because they cheated blatantly, and then they still only scraped it through. With all that cheating, they could still only scrape through a 5% victory through all of the tactics that were used. It's insane. I'm going to leave it at that. Prince Charles will... Actually, I'm not going to leave it at that. I'm going to tell you what's going to most likely happen. Because I don't believe Prince Charles has it. It just does not stand up statistically. I think there's a much better chance that what's actually happened is they want to have some positive PR to put William, give him a good PR campaign. Oh, well, William's lost his dad, especially if he dies, that's even worse. The country gets all their heart sleeves tugged, And next thing you know, you've got William taking the throne. And then you have Charles out of the way, probably with a changed face or something, so he can go live his last few years in freedom. Like what's happening with his brother, probably. They'll change his face and send him out somewhere so he can avoid all those paedophile charges. Again, we need this paedophile club free from the country too. It's not just independence. We need rid of the royals. They never were our royals. And I'm against royalty anyway. Even if we still did have our royals, I'd be against it. But I'm definitely against having their royals as our royals. It's a bigger kick in the teeth. So I just wanted to say that. It's highly unlikely that all these famous people, it doesn't stack up statistically that all these famous people are getting COVID. It just seems like a marketing campaign. You've got Tom Hanks doing the star jumps and everything, rapping and all that sort of stuff. It's just dumb. I said from day one on Red Pill Diaries series that this I smell a rat, something's not right, and it's just got worse and worse and worse. People are dying, and yet they're not crying about their kid who's just died. And as I said in another video, people grieve in different ways, but sorry. Most people cry when their kid dies. Most people die when their dad dies. Most people cry when their mom dies. I don't buy it that these people that grieve in different ways all happen to grieve in a way that just is subhuman or anti-human. It's just weird. And I can hear people saying now, oh, you're the judge of what's human. No, just your eyeballs and life and watching every movie you've watched, which is art, art imitates life. And there's a good reason for that, because the life is what we were all seeing what happens. If someone, as I said in the video yesterday, if someone started doing star jumps, you think, okay, well, that's fair enough. That's how he handles grief then. If 14 people start doing star jumps, you think, okay, something's not right here because no one's ever seen this before. How come they're all doing star jumps? Well, yeah, not crying is very weird for a human being. And these kind of circumstances when you've just lost someone. And I think a lot of this is truth mixed with fiction. I think this has been used as an agenda piece. I'm not saying it's not real. I just think it's been used as an agenda piece, and it will be used to derail the Scottish independence campaign. You can be guaranteed. And I think here's the start of it. I just thought I'd have to say this. I wanted to mention it. We'll see if he turns up dead. We'll see if he affects the Scotland statistics of people who are, sick in Scotland, even though he got sick in England, I think. Anyway, bye.